So here's the thing. Here's what I've come to understand. You doing something for the sake of saying you did it, putting in the least amount of effort that you probably can or possibly can, the least amount of effort, is as bad as just not doing it at all. That's how I feel. Because why waste your time doing something half-assed that could be done at your full potential?
Find you under all that pain. There's a fire you can't contain. Let it lead the way.
So here's something that I'm learning for myself in the process of doing my Ashley edits, right? The biggest thing for me is, I just seen a paper towel in the back. I need to get up. The biggest thing for me is if I'm going to half-ass anything, then I'm just not going to do it at all. Like, I got to give everything 100% or 120%. If I'm going to the gym to work out, I'm going to lift. Not the easiest thing. If I do a couple reps and I realize this is easy, then I'm going to go up a notch. I may not go up 30 or 40 pounds, but I'm at least going to go up 5 to 10 more pounds just to push myself to see how far I can actually take myself. The other one is if I'm going to get up and plan a day to spend with somebody, I'm not going to half-ass it, show up late, get there, act like I don't want to be there. You know, that's the problem with most things in life. Why people don't get to experience life fully is because you show up half-ass, but you expect someone else to show up 100 to 120%, right? You expect someone to come in and do so many significant things for you, but you don't even do significant things for yourself, right? You don't even go hard. You will read a book. Oh, I read a book. Okay, in 1 week. Good job, because we can easily read a book in 1 week. But what did you do with that? Did you take the knowledge from what you learned in that book? Did you apply it to your life? Did you write notes about it? Or was it just the thought of saying, I did it, it's done, I read another book? If you can read 1 book within a week, why not challenge yourself to read a book and a half, or to read 2 books within a week? Those are the things that I mean with taking your life to the next level that I'm trying to do for myself. So I know easily that I could read a book in a week. I could read a book in 3 days if I really want to read a book. And I'm not talking about fantasy or romance. Don't get me wrong. I do read those, but I'm talking about a book that actually adds quality to your life. I know that I could really read one in 2 to 3 days if I want to. So if I know that, why am I bare minimum to myself and then expecting high standards or all these amazing things from someone else when I'm giving myself less than what I'm asking for? That doesn't even make sense. So for me, I'm pushing myself and I'm pushing you to say, what does me doing it to say that I did it look like? And what is me doing it because I need to do it, because I want to do it? And I'm actually giving it 110%, because 100% is okay. But what about that extra 10? Because we don't know what level that could take us to if we decided to just go a little over the threshold, push ourselves all the way out of our comfort zone, not just a little bit. Right? Maybe you're showing up to a market event to say, I went to a marketing event. Did you talk to anybody? Did you have a goal for yourself on the amount of numbers or the amount of people that you wanted to talk to or numbers you wanted to get before you left? Because you just showing up and saying, I went to a marketing event doesn't matter if you didn't market. You saying I went to the gym just to say that I went to the gym doesn't matter if you didn't push yourself as hard as you could. If you didn't leave and say, God darn, I barely want to come back, then you didn't do enough. God darn, my legs hurt before I even finished my workout, then you didn't do enough. God dang, yeah, I want to say that I'm eating better just to say that I'm eating better, but when nobody's around, what are you doing? When nobody's there, when that ice cream is hunting you, when that chocolate is saying, that tastes good, are you giving it 100% in this new wellness journey that you have? In this new education journey that you have? In this new better body, better me, right? We're editing the things in our life that no longer feel good, that we no longer want. And this is part of that uncomfortable, especially when you have to look at yourself under a magnifying glass or look at yourself and have a conversation with yourself in the mirror to say, when I show up, am I just doing it to say that I went? Am I just saying I got dressed enough just to say I got dressed for the day? Or am I going the extra mile for myself that I want or expect someone to go for me or to do for me, right? So in the process of understanding the statement that I made earlier, if you're only going to do it just for the thought of saying that you did it, then don't do it at all. Because we can easily say, I can say, yeah, I drink this cup every single day. Doesn't mean I actually did it, right? Me drinking this cup is easy. How about me drinking 2 of these cups every single day? I'm saying this because this is something that I'm working on, because these cups, they be having me full, right? How about saying, I did read a book this week, even though I could have read it in 2 days or 3 days. I read it in a week because this time I had a notebook out. I actually took notes. I'm actually taking the time to process what I read and to actually take these things and implement them in my life. So if I was you, or if I was me, which I am me, these are the steps that I'm going through to make sure that I'm not just doing things for the sake of saying that I do them. So one would be looking at yourself under that magnifying glass, looking at whatever it is that you're saying you want to do. For me, my biggest thing is getting up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym. That's my newest thing right now. It isn't for the point or for the sake of saying I went to the gym and I'm a 5 a.m. gym girly now. Absolutely not, because there are days where I don't want to get up. But the whole point of me doing this is because guess what? I took that magnifying glass and I dissected the reason why I wanted to get up to go to the gym and why I felt the need to do it at 5 o'clock in the morning. The reason why is I'm a morning person. I like to digress. I like to pray and meditate. I like to get any physical movements, let me get them done and out of the way first, because it sets me up with my day. So when I said I can go in the afternoon, I can go after I teach a workout class, I knew those things weren't going to work for me. So what I did was say, how can I stay consistent? Well, I know Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, I don't have any classes. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, I go to the gym. Why 5 o'clock in the morning? Because if I sleep too late, which really is 6:30, 7 o'clock, my mind feels like I don't have enough time in the day to do the things that I need to do, and I don't have enough time to work out. Even though that's not the truth, my mind thinks anything past 7 o'clock, my normal morning rituals, I can't get them done. So I get up at 4:45 in the morning, I get fully dressed, I apply myself going to the gym because I don't want to look a mess, and I actually plan what I'm going to do before I get there. Tuesdays are lower body glute workout. Then we have Wednesdays are core, any standing, any seating, whatever you want to do for core. And then Thursdays are shoulders, back, arms. That simple. We're going to add in, I'm saying we because my family goes with me, even though that's a whole nother conversation. We're adding in Saturday because I do work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday going from the gym on Thursday and missing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then going back is too many days in between for me. So I need an extra day. Even though I'm working out, it's not the same as me being in the gym lifting weights when I'm teaching Pilates or I'm teaching yoga. So that is the reason why I've planned my schedule and I've planned the thing that I am doing, not just for the sake of me saying that I'm doing it. The second thing would be, how do I know if I'm doing it for the sake of saying that I'm doing it and I'm actually giving it my all? Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but if you don't know, this is what I would say. I would use me reading a book or going to someone's event, right? Do I actually want to be there for one? So I've already took the time to take my magnifying glass, say if I'm going, why do I actually want to go? What value am I bringing when I show up to this thing? What energy am I bringing? Versus me just saying, okay, yeah, I'll go. Even though I really don't want to go, it's just the point of saying, yeah. So later on in conversation, I can be like, yeah, girl, I went to such and such's birthday. I really didn't want to go anyways, but I went just for the sake of having a conversation or for the sake of saying that you did something. You know the difference versus me actually being, again, that word is going to come up a lot in these conversations, intentional about what I'm doing. If I know that I'm just going for the sake of saying that I'm going and I don't have any real intentions behind it, whether it's seeing old friends or maybe just socializing, getting out the house, those things that I feel like I need or I can give to someone else, then I'm not going to go. There's no reason for me to just show up to something just for the sake of saying that I'm showing up to something. It's the same way with education. I didn't want to just get my personal training license or my yoga license or being a life coach practitioner just to say I'm a life coach practitioner, but I don't do anything with it, right? So my point of doing these things and your point of actually dissecting with that magnifying glass is to say, am I giving it my all when I'm doing these things? Or am I just saying them or doing them just for the sake of having a conversation? And number 3, because I like to do this. I don't know why there's 3 and I can do this, but I like to do this. So number 3, long go fingers. The third one would be you're going to actually feel it. When you're doing things intentionally, when you're showing up, not just for the sake of saying, I did this, you're going to actually feel it. And changes are going to start happening in your life. So we already know the gym, right? I could say that I go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. I could maybe walk on the treadmill. Don't really have a plan for myself. Weeks are going to go by. And eventually I'm going to be inconsistent because I'm just doing it for the sake of saying that I'm going. 2, I'm not going to see any results. Not the results that I have plan for myself. I know how I want my body to look. I know how I want my body to feel. I know what muscles I want to work when I go in this gym. So you're going to start seeing results when you actually put in the work and give it 110, 120, pushing yourself to the next limit. You're going to see results, right? If I go to the gym and I know that I can lift 30, 40 pounds, 50, 60 pounds, and it's easy for me, what challenge is that? After a while, the first week or 2, my body might change a little bit, but after a while, my body gets conditioned to that weight. So if you already know coming in that you can lift 70 pounds, why are you starting off with that 70? Push yourself. Put 5 pounds on. You're going to start to notice the difference. You're going to start to notice the difference on how you look, how you feel, and the fact that this 75 pounds last week was good, but this week I done pushed to 80, 85. Same with reading, right? I'm not just reading all these mindset books about psychology and sales and marketing and financing and learning social media for the sake of saying I'm learning social media and I'm learning finances, and I could tell, oh, I read this book, but I'm implementing nothing in my life. Now imagine you taking one book. Maybe it takes you a little longer to read, but everything that you've learned that actually is going to add value to your life, that you start to implement it. Maybe it's finances. Maybe it's learning to cook. Maybe it's learning to focus on what self-care looks like for you, right? These things are going to start to show up in your life. So those are the things that you want to work on when you're thinking or realizing, am I just doing this for the sake of doing this? Or am I doing it because this is what my intentions are and I actually want to achieve the life that I say that I want? And the last thing that's not really a tip, but more of a step or a thing to pay attention to is, now that you understand what it means to just be doing something for the sake of doing something and actually leveling yourself up, being intentional about what you're doing, pushing yourself harder because you're capable, you're able to achieve whatever you want, you start to notice or start paying attention to people who just do things for the sake of saying that they do them. And once you start to notice that you're pushing hard and you're working your butt off and you're actually intentional, those people will either get on board and start following what you're doing, not exactly, but being there, not just to say I'm here, because after a while they can't sit around you when they notice that you're working through or working off intentions. I promise you that those people are going to start to wean themselves out of your life, or you're going to start to wean them out. They're going to have no space. And again, that will be intentional. That will be more so, I'm not just friends with you for the sake of saying that I'm your friend. I'm a friend with you because of the value that you bring to my life and the value that I bring to yours. You see where I'm going with that? This doesn't just work with gym and reading and going to people's party. It works in friendships. It works in jobs. It works in careers. It works in parenting. It works in every area of your life. If you're not going to do it over 100%, then just don't do it at all. That's it. That's all. That's all I got to say.